What is up, ninjas? Today we are going to talk about the biggest mistakes that I personally made as a brand new Amazon FBA seller that cost me thousands of dollars, and exactly how you can avoid these mistakes. It's going to be a good one. Stay tuned. The first mistake that I made when I was starting out in Amazon FBA as a young ninja was I used the wrong Amazon FBA freight forwarder. And what I mean by this is there are a lot of freight forwarders that you can potentially choose from, and the ones who heavily invest in advertising are generally not the ones that you want to choose. And specifically why that is because they charge you 2 times, 3 times as much as 5 times as much money for the exact same service. All you want from a freight forwarder is successfully getting your products unbroken from your Chinese factory to the Amazon FBA warehouse, and if you are going to spend 5 times as much doing that for absolutely no reason, that is going to cut directly into your profit margin. So how do you find a freight forwarder that is not 5 times more expensive than what you could be paying? Instead of using a freight forwarder based out of the USA, look for one based outside of the USA. The freight forwarders that I recommend and introduce to my students and provide contact information for my students are based out of China. Some are based out of Hong Kong. Some are based, elsewhere in the world. But the main point, guys, is they are not based in the USA. Just because you want somebody that speaks, fluent English, you're going to be paying 5 times more money for the exact same service, and that cuts directly into your profit margin. The second mistake that I made was not understanding how Chinese customs worked. Instead of actually putting on each one of my products and on my cartons made in China, I left that step out because I was just learning. I was a young ninja. I did not understand how the Amazon FBA process worked, and so I forgot to put made in China on all of my materials. And what happened? It got sent back to my manufacturer, and I had to pay for shipping back and forth 2 extra times, and then I had to pay to have all of my individual boxes of every single one of my products actually fitted with made in China, because it's one of the requirements of Chinese customs to have made in China written on every product so that the USA customs understand where these materials are coming from. The third mistake that I made as a new Amazon seller was I didn't buy enough units. And this seems a little bit counterintuitive, because if you guys are out there and you're just starting and you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't want to invest too much. What if I'm wrong? What if I lose all this money, right? What you should be thinking of is doing your due diligence correctly, understanding how to do product research, and feeling confident in your decision. You need to buy enough units to actually launch correctly. And what I mean by this, guys, is if you understand anything about launching a product and getting your product organically to page 1, it takes units. It takes giveaways. You have to be able to give away enough products to actually outrank the people on page 1 to get there and maintain that ranking and sustain that ranking on page 1 to be a profitable seller. So when I was a brand new Amazon FBA seller, I didn't understand this, and I only ordered 200, 300 units of a product, and by the time I was actually getting organic sales on page 1, I gave away units to kind of, excel myself into page 1. By that time, I was actually stocked out of units and was unable to maintain that organic rank and all of that organic sales, all those organic sales that I was getting, all of that profit that I was making, because I simply ran out of units. So don't sell yourself short by buying too few units. Feel confident in your decision, make the right decision, do your due diligence from a product research perspective, and then buy enough units to actually be able to sustain that ranking and that organic ranking and those organic sales once you make it to page 1. And before I forget, ninjas, I want to give a big shout out to our daily $100 winner, where we send you $100 directly to your PayPal. Give a big shout out to Alicia. She's always super active on our YouTube, on our Instagram, on our Facebook page. So congratulations on winning that $100, guys. And if you want to participate, make sure you smash that subscribe button directly in its face, hit the notification bell so you can be immediately entered to win $100 straight to your PayPal. Now let's get back to the mistakes. Mistake number 4 was not understanding PPC. I wasted so much time and so much money not understanding the complexities of Amazon PPC and not understanding how to create profitable campaigns from the beginning. Had I done it all over again, would I have taken a course from someone that I trusted? Absolutely, especially if they knew what they were talking about from a PPC perspective, because I probably wasted at least $2,000 or $3,000 alone creating these awful PPC campaigns, spending money on automatic PPC campaigns, not understanding the power of the search term report, not understanding how to properly make phrase match and exact match campaigns, not understanding low bid keyword research, not understanding all of the advanced ways to actually create profitable Amazon PPC campaigns from the beginning. Had I done it again, I would have found somebody who had already been around for a while, who was a successful seller, who was putting putting out good content, and I would have probably bought their course, to be perfectly honest. But the moral of the story, guys, is find someone you trust that you can learn PPC from, or kind of repeat the history that I did and waste a ton of money getting started on Amazon PPC and not understanding what you're doing and feeling frustrated, rather than just learning it from someone who's been there before, made those mistakes already, and wasted that money so you don't have to. And the last thing that I would say was a huge mistake that I made as a brand new Amazon seller was not understanding the importance of good images. I wanted to try to save money at every corner, so instead of investing in a good product photographer with lifestyle images and proper lighting and beautiful cameras and people that understood shadows and who understood how to properly edit a product photo after they were done taking the photos, I would have saved so much money and so much energy trying to understand why my listing wasn't converting when it should have been converting. I went through all the statistics. I figured out that everything was working great, but I still wasn't converting. I was getting a ton of traffic. People were coming onto my page. My session percentage was great, but people just weren't converting. And I learned after a lot of hard work that the only thing that could have been preventing people from properly converting on my listing, since everything else was set up correctly, was my images. And so I spent, $300 or $500 on my images when I should have spent $1,000. And so at this point, I decided to myself, okay, I know it sucks, but I have to go out, find a proper product photographer, take pictures the right way, get the proper images done with beautiful lighting, with everything done correctly. And so I paid extra for a very good product photographer. My images were beautiful now. I relaunched my product and everything exploded. My product started flying off the shelves and everything was going fantastic. I knew that everything else was set up correctly. I knew it had to be the images, and once I changed those images, guys, everything completely changed for my product. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I wanted to make a really short one for you guys to show you the mistakes that I made so that hopefully you don't have to repeat those mistakes. We are going to continue to drop the absolute best Amazon FBA knowledge, Shopify knowledge, Facebook ads knowledge, everything e-commerce knowledge on you guys until the end, guys. So we'll see you next time.